I'm Beric Livingston, Professor Livingston, welcoming you to our arty party here on HQ. Don't worry if you don't think you like art, this is just a bit of fun. I was speaking to one of my very ernst undergrads, lovely young lady. I like this, says Anne, but I see modern art and I think, oh no, know what I mean? She looked at me wryly. I said, some old paintings are bosh, but I turn a blind eye and I avoid red herrings. But is a Hepworth more than a Hogarth? She asked. My first name's actually Beric, I corrected, and don't get embroiled in the Monet. You could Rubens a perfectly good day. We could talk Vermeer to eternity, but now that I've Goya attention, how about a quiz? A little friendly competition. Thank God for that, she said. I thought we'd never get Gauguin. Right, £1,000 to be won in tonight's show. It's not just about the Manet, but you could be bringing home the bacon. 12 questions from Matisse Peasy to a bit more Leonardo. Chagall 12 right and Jura winner. Laughing all the way to the Banksy. Let's go straight on to Q1. The Bayeux Tapestry depicts events surrounding which of these historical occasions? Battle of Hastings, Thor versus Iron Man, Yoda versus Count Dooku. The Bayeux Tapestry is 231 feet long. So first of all, you need a really big living room, then you've got to get curtains to match. Bayeux Tapestry, I probably wouldn't. Anyway, it was the coolest scene from the first movie, but we're after something a little older than the Avengers here. A long time ago, in a place just down the road. It's the Battle of Hastings. Yes, and weaving your way to victory, 108,419 of you. A tapestry is technically an embroidery here in this case, but it's not worth losing an eye for. Q2. The first known aerial photo was taken from which of these vehicles? Hot air balloon, submarine, bicycle. Yeah, back in the day, you had to almost have a whole darkroom with you. You had to paint some emulsion onto glass plates before exposure, then you had to quickly print them off afterwards. So it's a different matter. If you went for bicycle, then someone's been watching E.T. again. Better at travelling over fields and through them, it's a hot air balloon. And flying to victory, 103,531 there. Gaspard Tourneschamp took the snaps in 1858, getting a skyborne selfie over the village of Petit-Bicêtre. On Sunday is our big £8,000 game with our regular range of cues, but a lot more loot on the table. Don't miss that, it will be fabulous. Meanwhile, happy birthday to Haskins, to Bradley and friends celebrating your 23rd there. Happy anniversary to Aaron and Joe. Hi to the artist Dan Lund, to Vicky, Megan and Ben. Hope today was a lucky day for all of you. Congrats on results day to Theo and Bronte, to Tina from Andrea and Wes, and to Nabil in Gloucester who got straight A's. Amazing work. Q3. Which of these food items obscures a face in René Magritte's The Son of Man? A deep-fried Mars bar, a Cornish pasty, an apple. René. He had a painting, not this one, stolen in 2009, and then they returned it. Same thieves returned it in 2012 because they couldn't sell it. It was too famous. Anyway, he was a surrealist, so all of these become valid choices. Showing us one way to keep the doctor away, it's an apple. Yes, an apple, or was it not an apple? 85,826 of you getting that right. Magritte wanted the painting to evoke interest in the hidden and invisible, which is just the kind of nonsense that'll get you an A at art school. Q4. Which work by Tracey Emin sold for over £2 million in 2014? My Shed, My Head, My Bed. Tracey Emin, the enfant terrible of young British artists, Elton John, George Michael and Orlando Bloom among collectors of her work. We've gone from surreal to outright lunacy here. But what did Tracey turn into a multi-million-pound art piece? Snooze City itself, it was a bed. Yeah, and not sleeping on the job, 65,071 of you. Saatchi bought Tracey's unmade bed for £150,000, but got a great return on his investment 4 years ago. Q5. Which side of the Berlin Wall was covered in graffiti? East, west, neither. 1989 it came down, lots of pieces were sold. In 2008 you could pay 7,000 or 8,000 euros for a bit. Now you can get one on eBay for about 13. Banksy would have had a field day, but which side was already covered in paint? Preferring Kanye to Clint, it was the west. The West Side, the story there, 34,321. Our first little bit beastly question of the day, but definitely not savage. The East Side remains spotless, more to do with the Soviet death strip than the residents getting writer's block. Q6. Bridget Riley, the British artist, is known for working in what style? Op art, pop art, flop art. I used to have a Bridget Riley print on my wall. For a long time, people would come round and say, "Is that wrapping paper?" Mean. She started out at the very same time as pop art, but Bridget branched off in a very different direction, inviting you to do the flopping. It's op art. Yeah, optical art, 4,681 if you got that right, but that's the first savage question of the day. 32,171 going for pop art. Yep, same kind of time, different kind of work. Savage. Her work focuses on brain-churning optical effects and illusions, hence the name, so maybe arrange to eat after you see them. Okay, Q7. Artworks belonging to a Russian-born underwriter formed the basis of which gallery's original collection? Louvre, Paris, Prado, Madrid, National Gallery, London. Lots of crazy art collectors in the world. My favourite is probably Peggy Guggenheim, who lived in Venice and said she was going to buy a picture a day. She also, reportedly, when asked how many husbands have you had, she said, mine or other people's. Anyway, that's Peggy. This is John Angerstein, who was born in St. Petersburg, but where did he hang his art collection? Choosing the winning side of Trafalgar Square, it was the National Gallery in London. London, the right answer, 2,233. I think this is, I'm going to call it savage question number 2. We lost about 6,000 there. It went kind of 3 ways. I guess nobody knew what to do there. Could have been anything. I'll say savage. John owned 38 masterpieces from Rembrandts and Raphaels to some macaroni collages from Little Angerstein. All right. 510 people using extra lives to get back in. 2,233 in the game. That's Q8. Salvador Dali reportedly sold which of these to Yoko Ono for $10,000? Blade of Grass, his pet ocelot, his signature. Crazy Dali. There's a brilliant museum in Figueras where he was born and where he is buried. If you ever get a chance to go, go. They said he wanted to be like a crazy theatrical experience, and it is. It's really worth seeing. He has flogged everything from lobster phones to melted clocks, but what did Dali get 10 grand for? Truly one in a bazillion. It was a blade of grass. Yeah, a blade of grass. 1,484 of you got that right. I'm quite impressed because he did have a pet ocelot. It was called Babu or something. And signatures, yeah, he did a lot of signing paper and just sending it out to make money. Apparently he could sign 1,800 pieces of paper in the morning and he'd make $72,000. There you go. Ono wanted a hair from his moustache, but Dali sent her dried grass instead, fearing the hair would be used for occult purposes. Oh no, who knew? Q9. Which artist arrived at their first solo exhibition in an ambulance? Frida Kahlo, Vincent van Gogh, Damien Hirst. Ambulance. The root of the word ambulance is obviously from ambulare, which means to walk, but like walking is the one thing you can't do if you need an ambulance, so it seems a bit strange, but it's actually referring to the hospital. It's a mobile hospital. It's the hospital that moves and not you. Ambulance. You didn't need to know that. Anyway, it sounds right up his alley, but we're not talking about a Damien Hirst publicity stunt here. Feeling rough, but hanging tough, it was Frida Kahlo. Yeah, Frida Kahlo. 1,088 if you got that right. A lot of you thought it could have been Damien. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Her doctors had to put her on bed rest, so Kahlo just moved her bed into the gallery so she could be there for the party. Atta girl. Q10. Which of these did the US artist James Whistler adopt as a monogram in his work? A butterfly, a greyhound, a robin? James Whistler, born in the United States, spent most of his career in the UK, where he famously had a feud with Oscar Wilde. It was like who could outdo each other on the most witty remarks. Anyway, robins are the only ones here, the whistle, but when has an artist ever gone for the easy option? Flying around more than just a track, it was a butterfly. A flutterby, the right answer. 762 people got it right. Whistler may have had the brush skills of a master, but he had the signature of a 5-year-old girl. Okay, 2 to go. Q11. The Twitter account Tabloid Art History juxtaposed a Caravaggio with which celebrity at a drive-thru restaurant? Kim Kardashian, Beyonce, Britney Spears. Yeah, a great Twitter account, a really good Instagram page. If you haven't checked it out, you should. 3 artists in their own right, and Kim. But who was exhibited next to David with the head of Goliath? Hitting up Del Taco one more time, it was Britney Spears. Yes, and spearing victory, 408 of you. Okay, berets at the ready, because we are avant-garding into the final round. 33 using extra lives and 408 getting 11 right. There's still everything to play for as we go for Q12. Before the sale of Salvator Mundi, which painting was the most expensive ever sold at auction? The Night Watch, the Scream, Interchange. Salvator Mundi, that was the Leonardo picture that turned up, one of about 20 that are around. $450 million it got, and it's ended up in the Louvre in Abu Dhabi. Now, if you thought the art was confusing, then try valuing the stuff. The Scream held the record in 2012, but shock horror, it was outdone in 2015. More of a nightmare than a night watch, it's all $300 million of interchange for the win. And changing into winners, 115 of you. Well done. $115 winners there, about 1 in 1,000 of you. Congratulations. Really good work for our Thursday evening art quiz. Taking home £8.69 or £8.70 are Andy A99, Deb Lars to Sippin' On L. I can't read the rest of that, but he's got a really cool car. Is that a Caddy there? Is it a Lincoln? It looks like a Caddy Eldorado to me with a top down. Anyway, I love it. Also to Thonk Cute, who's got a smiling face and little thing. There's some guy with some flames there. Some people looking cool in hats. Well, all of you, well done. It was a brilliant game. I think some of you are more arty than you thought. I'm Beric Livingston. Find me on Twitter or Insta. Give me a friendly follow. Let me know how you did or suggest a theme for a future show. We have our humongous £8,000 game on Sunday, of course. But meanwhile, we're back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for another regular round of Trivia Trickery with monetary rewards. Till then, thank you so much for playing the art show. Have a great night. Bye.